A cost item is any item that costs you money that you need to account for within your job budget. These are going to be things like your material costs, your labor costs, any fees or permits that you have associated with that job. And you'll create those cost items, and then you'll be able to bring them into your budget or store them in your cost catalog. You can add cost items one of 5 ways. The first and most basic way being that manual entry, where you'll create one from scratch. But before we show you how to do that, I want you to navigate from your settings up into your custom fields tab, and then scroll down almost to the bottom to our cost items section. Adding cost item custom fields are going to be really important to help you understand more information about your cost items when you go to create them. Information that will help you sort them, information that will help you report on them, but essentially you're going to want to ask yourself, what information am I collecting already about my cost items? What information would I like to collect about my cost items? And then what information do I need to report on concerning my cost items? And once you've created custom fields to help you gather that information, you will enter those custom fields, and then you're ready to start creating your cost items. So we're going to assume that we've got our custom fields, and we're going to navigate over into our cost catalog, and we're going to navigate to the upper part of our screen to plus cost items. We're going to click plus, and then we're going to go ahead and add our first cost item. We're going to add a renovation permit. Okay? We're going to add our description, giving any specific and pertinent information about that cost item. And then we're going to make sure that we've added our cost code. These are going to be your products and services if you're utilizing QuickBooks. You're going to need to make sure that you've got all of your cost types set up, because this is going to be where your specific margins stacked on top of any costs that you have associated with this cost item. So we're going to select other, and then we're going to give ourselves 1 for quantity. We're going to measure each one of these by each in terms of our units. And then what's the unit cost? This is what I'm paying. Okay, so we're going to say $350. Now, when I take that cost type associated margin for me of 30% for that other cost type, it stacks on top of the unit cost of $350, giving me that extended price to my customer of $500. I can toggle on whether this item is taxable, if I want it to be included as a specification item, or if I want it to be an allowance item or an allowance customer write-in item. I can add any specification notes that I'd like. I can also select which trade if that's helpful, again, through sorting and finding specific cost items that I'd like to isolate. So we're going to call this a planning trade cost item category. Again, we could come in here and select planning and any other pertinent information. So if this was a kitchen remodel, maybe we'll put kitchen for the room. And you can see that I've got some spaces for any one of these. For vendor, it's a great opportunity for you to select maybe city if you're going to do something like creating a permit. And then if you have a picture for this cost item, you can bring it over here and then bring it into any one of your proposals or your bid requests in the future where these specific cost items have been populated in those estimates, okay? So we're gonna bring in our permit picture, all right? And then we'll create that cost item. And now you can see that we've got it created in my cost catalog, okay? So we look at that permit. You can see that I've got my renovation permit there, all right? The second and one of the most impressive ways to add cost items to our cost catalog will be to utilize what we call our web clipper. Our web clipper is essentially a browser extension which links to our cost catalog, enabling you to pull information directly off of a supplier's website and into your cost catalog, into a document, or into a job itself. So if you haven't done this already, you're going to generate your web clipper. You're going to drag that web clipper extension up to your bookmark bar, and you're ready to roll. So now we're going to navigate over to build.com. We're going to look at this Google Nest thermostat, okay? We're going to click just off screen on that browser extension, that web clipper, and it will bring up our web clipper over into the right side of our screen. You can see that we can add this cost item directly to a catalog, to a budget, or to a document, okay? So we're going to fly through this pretty quickly because this is going to look a lot like how we manually entered everything, but we're going to use what we call our magic wand tool to capture that information directly off the screen. So you'll see me do it, and I'll kind of narrate what I'm doing here now. So we're going to grab the name using our magic wand tool. All right, we're going to grab the description from down here and the details. Again, using our magic wand tool, populating that information in the description. We're going to come up here, click on the picture that we'd like to collect, click plus, hover over that picture, and then we're going to go down here to that specs PDF, and we're going to add that in the same way that we did the picture. All right, so now we've got a picture, we've got our PDF spec sheet, we're going to get our cost code. We're going to choose utilities. We're going to, let's go ahead and grab the cost. Okay. Directly using our magic wand tool. All right, units, we're going to measure this each per thermostat. Okay, so because we've got our cost type of materials, you can see that we've got our margin and our markup starting to calculate for the price to our customer of $363. And then any other information that we'd like to collect here, we can collect it now. All right, in the same way that we did with the manual entry, but we can do it straight here. We can also add what vendor we want to associate with this item. So again, this is from build.com. So we'll select build.com and we'll create this item. And now when we click on this link, when that pops up on our screen, that takes us directly into our cost catalog, into that specific cost item. And that's how we utilize our web clipper tool. Okay, so we're going to update that item. And now when we go to thermostat, you can see that we've got that thermostat there in our cost catalog. Okay, now the third way that we can add cost items to our cost catalog will be to go up into the global catalog. But rather than doing it here at our cost catalog level, let's go into a job. Okay, so we'll go into our budget. To access the global catalog, you're going to navigate to the bottom of your budget screen and you're going to click on the global catalog icon. And again, you'll see all of your connected orgs catalogs, all of the supplier catalogs you have access to, and then all of our templates that we have given you to pull cost items from here in JobTread. They will all be available to you in addition to your catalog for your JobTread account. The fourth way to add an item to your cost catalog or to a budget will be to utilize our import function. This is going to be particularly helpful for anybody who is coming over from an existing system and you'd like to bring in all of your cost catalog information, including all of your cost codes or any of your cost types into JobTread. So you can do that by navigating over to either your import button here within the job or in your catalog by navigating just to the right of our web clipper and clicking import. This will give you the ability to download a template, dump all of your previous information into that template, export it as a CSV, and then re-import and map it within JobTread to get all of your existing cost code and cost information into your catalog. I will encourage you though, let your customer success managers do this for you. It's part of your subscription and it will be much easier for them to do it than for you to do it and find that you've missed some information that you need to then go back and add later. The fifth and final way to add a cost item into your cost catalog will be to export a cost item that you've created within a budget and then push it back to your cost catalog. You can even do this with cost groups or a whole budget and create a template that then you send back to your cost catalog that you can pull into a job in the future. So let's go ahead and look at how that works. So if we go back to the job that we were working on earlier, you go back to our budget tab. Let's just say that we wanted to send back this pre-construction cost group back to our budget to be able to utilize that pre-construction cost group in a job in the future. So we'll select that cost group header of pre-construction. And when we select that pre-construction cost group header, our mass budget action drawer will slide over and we can then export selected to catalog cost group, which will push this back into our cost catalog. And we give it a name, pre-construction training. And when we select OK, and then we go back into our catalog, we go to our cost groups and we can see pre-construction training, utilizing that information that we have pushed to our cost catalog, including these three cost items. If you have any questions about adding cost items into your cost catalog or into your budget, reach out to your customer success manager, or you can reach out to us for support at JobTread.com.